Since 2023 I've been making FNAF customs, starting as a noob making with a Bonnie, working my way up making Freddy, Foxy, Chica, Mangle and even the Mimic. So after 2 years I really wanted to step my game up and actually use LED lights for the eyes. So without further ado, let's make Golden Freddy. That's not for another 2 to 4 weeks yet. Let's put that away. What we're looking for is under the bed. Okay, so for years I've had stuff all over my room for my YouTube, but now I finally have my own organised boxes. One in particular is my YouTube box and it's pretty much full of FNAF figures. And this is where I found the figure that we'll be customizing today. I always use tie-dye characters, I just don't like them. Hey, that's mean. So every time I make a new custom, I always cut these joints off, but I actually want to recycle these and possibly use them for a stop motion FNAF figure in the future. So I asked you lot if there's any way of getting these out without breaking them, and I got 2 awesome people told me if I just heat them up in hot water, they'll just pull out.
What are you doing? It's done.
Now to be honest, this part was quite strange for me. I've always tried to keep my figures or toys out of rain or water, so to be purposely putting them into a glass of hot water was very strange, but this worked out perfectly and all the joints came out very satisfyingly. Perfect job. So now with that out of the way, I can move on to the legs. I drilled holes through all the limbs and then I got the feet out and started cutting that foot off. I drilled holes into the feet and I got DM from Golden Freddy showing me his feet pics, which was kind of strange. It felt like I was talking to 2 people at the same time. But going back to the feet, I felt like it needed a bit more gyatting, so I got some blue tack and shaped the feet to look more accurate, covered it in super glue, and I also made little holes in so later on I can add metal wire to make it super accurate. So with the arms I just had to drill holes through it, which my daughter helped me with. Then I used a power carver to make out all the perfect details I need for his arms and legs, but this is pretty much all I'm going to do for him for now because I'm going to make it different to my other customs. Here's why. So with Golden Freddy, I have a theory that he does not have an endoskeleton. I've been searching up and no one's completely sure whether he does or not. So I think lore-wise it'd be a lot more interesting if he doesn't have it. It will change him from the other animatronics, and I feel like the fact that he has 2 spirits is the only reason why he's able to move and even teleport. And like, as sometimes you can see him and he's just a head. So I feel like the fact that he doesn't have an endoskeleton makes him have these unique traits and makes it a lot more interesting lore-wise. And it makes it easier for me because I don't have to make a whole endoskeleton when making another custom. I'm just going to make all the bits look like it's been held by a metal frame that can be wrapped around a human. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go over that. If you don't like that, let me know down in the comment section, and maybe a year by now I'll remake him with an endoskeleton. I don't know. But for this one, it's going to be a suit. Moving on to the torso, I needed to remove the waist to have access to the empty stomach. Then I went ham trying to open this up, which the way I did it was get 2 tools in and kind of pry it open. And then I moved on to the waist, drilled some holes in, and then with those 2 together I tried to clean them up and try and make as much room as I could so I can fit all the wiring and even the power pack with a switch, hopefully, all inside this little body.
Harry's got the camera on me.
Blah 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 blah. Who's having a baby? Who's having a baby?
Happy.
Ready?
Ready. Baby. Good. Look at Carol. Let's check your temperature, Mommy.
So yes, I am now a father of 2 beautiful children, which also means my time is getting shorter and shorter. So to give it to YouTube can be very hard at times. So I need all the motivation I can get. So please, if you do like this content, make sure to subscribe. And even liking, commenting, even disliking, all helps this channel grow. We are halfway to that play button, and that is literally my dream. I so want that on my wall. So yes, after all that, let's go back to Golden Freddy, because we got that head to do. Let's roll.
This is Golden Freddy.
Perfect.
He's so cool and handsome, but he's so pink.
The last time I made Withered Freddy, I didn't put enough effort into the head. What the fuck? So when it came to this one, I removed the ear, removed the mouth, and did a lot more work shaping that head. Idiot.
What are you doing out there?
Video. Before we start, I want to give a big shout out to one of my friends actually at work who found out I did YouTube somehow, and he actually called me up at lunchtime and he said, "Come to the car, I've got something for you." I was like, "What?" Took me to the boot of his car and he gave me this router. It's like, what? I actually got, I was trying to hold my cool, but I kind of got a little bit emotional when he gave it to me, because it's like, no one's just gave me a router before and it's really good looking. I'm over the look of it and it works perfect, so I want to thank him so much, and I needed to mention that. And it's took me a while to finally need to use this, but here it is. Thank you so much, mate. I owe you one. I'm going to make something for him at some point. Just haven't got around to that at the moment, so let's use it. So now we had a lot of work to do with the head. I did a lot of shaping on the outside, and then I even went onto the inside making gums, so later on I can glue teeth in, and I needed to make sure I had the right place so I can put that Lego joint later, so I could make the mouth move. I had to stop for a moment to feed the baby. And I also needed some space in the head for the wires to go in later when I did the lights, which luckily this whole big chunk just pulled out, which I don't know what that was about, but that helped so much. Look what I've just found. I'm going insane right now because I've just found out they do a 13.5-inch Bonnie and Freddy figures, which they look the same as the small Funko figures, just a whole lot bigger. For example, here is Springtrap, and from what it looks like, this figure is around about this much taller. Imagine that as a custom. It will take me a long time, but I have full interest into doing this. These things look absolutely insane, they look really good, and they're even posable for their size, which is absolutely ridiculous. I would like to keep their posability with these ones, which I don't normally do, but I would like to make these maybe into Nightmare Freddy, using the little heads that you get from this one exactly, and putting it on to his body, because he might be that big enough where these look small enough to be those little heads on Nightmare Freddy. And also maybe turn Bonnie into Withered Bonnie, which is my favourite character. And it was the first custom I did. So to go back and make it large would be absolutely insane. I'll definitely make sure to make this light up and all. I'll make the eyes light up, which would be really cool. I'm really excited. So I'm definitely going to buy these before this deal goes. Let me know what you think these two should be. Should I make Withered Bonnie and should I make Nightmare Freddy? Let me know. Now before we finish the head, I needed to spend a few hours working out how all this lighting stuff works, because this was my first time. Now I'll be honest, I was on this for 3 hours, but all I could get to work is 2 lights working on this big battery, which means this thing would have to sit out on the side of him, which looked really off. I really wanted it all to fit in the stomach. I do have this device that fits the battery and has a switch, but I just couldn't get it to light up 2 lights yet, so I left it for now and continued back onto the head. So now I know I'm definitely doing the lights. I need to prepare the body for wires. So with the mouth, I drilled 2 holes in, added that Lego piece, covered that hole, then added blue tack where I needed, and then the teeth, and then covered it in super glue. Then I also had to drill holes into his shoulders so the wires can pass through his mouth into his body to the battery pack. But let's go back and try and rework it so we can get that little battery pack with the switch working. So with round 2 I actually got it working, but not without the help of my brother, who's an engineer. I was sending him pictures of what I was doing and what I was having trouble with, and he sent me a diagram on how to do it properly. And I tried it and it worked. So now I'm going to be able to fit everything inside of this figure, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
What do you think, Annie?
Huh?
Oh, I think you've mucked it. Don't let your kids touch your toys. Oh. Now all that's worked out, we can actually start to finish him now. But before we do that, I'm going to give you a shout out to all the people that have been posting on my Game Troll community page. You lot make stuff too, and this is what I found from you awesome people. So here's Dreams Made a Still. They also made a Golden Freddy, so I had to mention it. Look at that, looks awesome. Then there's Mole King with his Spring Bonnie custom. Looks so cool, look at that. Then there's the Accurate Toy Story Collector, who's made good ones, like that Bonnie, I think does look more accurate and better than mine. Then there's Shadow Bongo, which I think is next level. Look at these details on these figures, that's crazy. And here's some honourable mentions from other peeps. Thank you all so much for joining the community page and show me what you got. I think we're nearly ready to paint and build this guy. There's just one thing I need to mention. I made these joints using a bit of plastic, cutting them to size, made a hole in them, put a wire in them, and these are going to be the bits holding all the limbs together. So now that I mentioned that, let's play the music and start building Golden Freddy. Let's do it. And here they are, Golden Freddy. I want to thank you all so much for making it to the end of this video. This took me so long to edit, to make all of this new wiring, lighting stuff. But now I know how to do it, it should be a lot faster next time, right? Well, we'll see. So I hope all of you have an awesome day, and I hope to see you in the next video I make. See you later. Ah, no. Ah, no. Bend, not break. How's it going, Lily?
This is for when we go in a show and we can watch Freddy in a show.
Yay. Show.
Yeah,
Okay.
Freddy in the show.
Yeah.
And he sings the show and oh Freddy. Get away from it!